You might not think that they're the coolest type of automobile out there. Truth is, minivans are awesome. Today, we're tearing down all the negative minivan stigma and looking at one of the best minivans of all time. One of them, it's got a freaking F1 engine in it. So grab a seat in the third row and drop a bunch of McDonald's French fries freaking everywhere. This is the D-List.
Big announcement. Nolan and I have been turned into collectible figurines. Got Nolan in his Mustang. We got me in my Golf. These limited edition vinyl figures are on sale right now, and these aren't like our other merch. They are real collectibles, and once they are sold out, that is it. We are not making them, so they're not gonna make any more. So if you want your own James and Nolan collection in your garage or your office, or I don't know, on your bedside table so you can kiss us, go to bed every night, make sure you click the links in the description. The first link is for me, and the second link is for Nolan, and I don't know, just get both of us before we're gone. Oh. Nolan's little catchphrase, be kind. This packaging is really cool and impressive. Ooh. This is Nolan's Mustang. I love that. That's going right on my shelf. I love that. Now, the unboxing of my toy. There says, I love you. Little catchphrase. I am riding in my Mark III Golf. Very accurate. It's even got little rotiforms on it. Love this. Oh, it's even got the door to the office right there. And then the set of up to speed. So you can have a little up to speed set in your home. I'm so excited about this. When you get yours, please post photos with them and tag me because I'm a freaking action figure, you guys. Back to the show.
Mercedes R63 AMG.
Mercedes R63 AMG is not your average soccer practice carpool caravan. Nothing against mommies. Mommies are the bee's knees. I love mine. Stay safe, Liz. But the R63 AMG is in a whole different class of minivan. And the class that it's in is a classy class. Rewind to 2006. Mercedes took their first stab at a luxury minivan with the R-Class. Initially, the base model has a 3.5 liter V6 with about 270 horsepower, and it was priced at 48 large. Shockingly, there's not a huge market for snobby, tall, station wagon looking minivans, and the R-Class was a total sales flop. But instead of bailing, Mercedes doubled down like KFC and made the R63 AMG. This power mini flaunts a 6.2 liter V8 that gives this boy 507 horsepower. 507 horsepower in a minivan and 465 pound-feet of torque. The engine can send all 5,300 pounds of this big, beautiful Benz to 60 in about 4.5 seconds. It's got 15.4-inch brakes. That is larger than Domino's second largest pizza. The interior is spacious, plush, and luxurious. It's got individual climate control in all 3 rows. Literally 0 other minivans can hold a candle to the R63 AMG's total package. It's so cool. They don't even call it a minivan. They call it a grand sports tourer. But we all know what it is. It's a minivan. It's a fast minivan, but it's a minivan. One thing that is not mini about it is the price tag. The base R63 was originally listed for $88,000. And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want my spoiled rich 4-year-old spilling his Go-Gurt all over the back seat of a $100,000 super van, which is probably why only 200 of these most niche vehicles were ever made, making it part of an ultra-rare club.
Brubaker box.
Now, it might be a little bit of a stretch to call this second boy a minivan, but it's mini and it's vanny, so it's on the list. In fact, lots of folks out there consider the Brubaker box to be the first minivan ever. So it certainly deserves a place on our list today. In the early 70s, a dude named Curtis Brubaker designed the Pioneer minivan and called it the Brubaker box. The whole idea here was to create a modern reimagining of the VW microbus. The Brubaker is made entirely of fiberglass panels, and it has wooden bumpers that stick way the heck out there. But that's not even the weirdest thing. There's one door for the whole car. A couch back seat with a freaking ottoman. And honestly, one of the craziest dashboards I've ever seen. It looks like what you find in a submarine themed escape room. I'm not talking about one of those nice escape rooms. I'm talking about the one that you get a 4-for-1 deal on for Groupon. That is the last time we let Chris pick our double date. It's a kit designed to bolt directly onto an unmodified VW Beetle chassis, but Brubaker did not have the smooth talking charm of someone like Ryan Reynolds, and he failed to reach an agreement with Volkswagen to sell him just the chassis and drivetrain, and the poor guy was forced into bankruptcy. All in all, only 19 B boxes are still known in existence today.
Renault espace.
Look, Europe needs minivans too, okay? Over there, they call them multi-purpose vehicles. They also call garbage cans rubbish bins and semi-trucks lorries. So I don't know what the heck they got going on over there. The espace, which sounds like an Italian soup, is one of the earliest and most beloved minivans in the whole entire world. And since it made its debut in 1984, it has been constantly evolving, reinventing, and updating, like Madonna or the Taco Bell menu. Granted, the most current Renault espace resembles more of a crossover than a minivan, but we're not going to take it off the list for that. It's a freaking van legend. But the real reason we put the espace on this list is because of this. The Espace F1. In 1994, Renault celebrated the 10th anniversary of the van by creating this insane concept. They took a traditional carbon fiber reinforced Espace body, combined it with an F1 style lightweight chassis, bringing the total weight down to 3,000 pounds. Then they threw a V10 F1 engine right in the freaking middle of the van, surrounded by 4 carbon fiber racing seats, which made for a 6 soundtrack of engine purrs while you drive around. On the outside, normal-ish looking family van. On the inside, Formula One race car that makes your ears bleed. This thing went from 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. Its max speed was a certified bonkers 194 miles per hour, and it looked like the Disneyland monorail. Without a doubt, one of the best minivans of all time.
Bertone Genesis.
When you name something the Genesis, you mean some serious business. Ask God. And baby, did Bertone mean business with that. This Bertone designed concept car was first displayed at the 1988 Turin Auto Show, and no less than 30,000 hours went into making this thing. Now, they say it takes 10,000 hours to master something. You could have mastered 3 things. Guitar, dancing, and breakdance, New York Ballet. The Genesis is a gull-wing door minivan made with Lamborghini machine parts. It's powered by the same 450 horse per V12 from the frickin' Countach Quattro Valvole, paired with a 3-speed torque flight automatic transmission, which might not sound like a cool transmission to you, but let me assure you, it is a very cool transmission. Google it, all right? It's for racing. Just like all of the vans on this list, the outside of this thing looks like the front of the Disneyland monorail. And in 1988, that was the future. The rear door slides open to reveal an interior that is maybe more jaw-dropping than the exterior. There were 2 front-facing rear seats and 1 rear-facing middle row seat. And the front seats were captain's chairs that swiveled around so you and the rest of your traditional Italian family can chat. So, why didn't this insane V12 powered minivan ever actually get made? Well, it was mainly created as a design study, and since Lamborghini already had the LM002, there wasn't enough room in the market for this badass monorail car.
Ford sho-star.
The Ford sho-star was an exercise in performance minivan design put forth at the Detroit Auto Show in 1995. It's a real portmanteau of a car. The first part of the sho-star's name comes from the Taurus Show, because it's got the freaking Yamaha V6 from it. The star part comes from the Ford Wind Star. Maybe one of the most straightforward minivans in the history of minivans. If your mom didn't drive a Windstar in the 90s, I guarantee that your best friend or your cousin's mom or your neighbor's mom did. If you had to draw a minivan blindfolded, it would probably look like a Windstar. But then, one fateful day, Ford did something wild. They introduced the Taurus Show to the Windstar. They dated. They fell in love. and 9 months later had a beautiful little 6,000-pound baby minivan named the sho-star, and it is really freaking cute! The Windstar body gives it that satisfying, smooth, and round minivan shape. Plus, some sweet fiber optics added some spunk to the taillights and the oval grille logo. But the show's dual overhead cam, 24-valve, 3-liter V6 is the kicker on this concept. It's got a 5-speed manual transmission and 220 horsepower. That was a lot in 1995, especially for a freaking minivan. Gas also cost freaking $1.15 a gallon, and Michael Jordan came back to the Chicago Bulls, and Post Malone was born. So, what I'm saying is, 1995 was the perfect year. It is the exact opposite of this year.
Mitsubishi Delica Space Gear.
Number 4 on this list is another mashup and an absolute beaut. Mitsubishi first introduced the Delica back in 1968, and the name is actually short for delivery car. That's right. They were designed to move stuff from one place to another place. That's what delivery is. But the 4th generation Delica, released in 1994, is known as Space Gear. And it's far more spacey than your average UPS van. Plus, they were never sold in the United States, which gives them that hard-to-get appeal that makes everybody creep. The Space Gear has the same engine and transmission as the Mitsubishi Pajero. There were several engine options and configurations, but the highest spec, the Royal Exceed, is a lifted 4-wheel drive, turbo diesel powered
Disney rail from Monoland looking
beast van. And it's got mud flaps and a bull bar, which let people know this is a little off-road monster. If someone needs to deliver something to the other side of a muddy, rocky, totally unlevel patch of terrain, the Space Gear is the van for you. And inside is just as accommodating, with a high roof and an array of skylights called
Crystal Light Roof,
just like the powdered lemonade, but spelt different, tastier. And thanks to the 25-year import rule, these guys are finally old enough to be imported to the U.S. So now you can be the captain of your own JDM Disneyland monorail on U.S. soil.
Mazda MPV.
You might not think that the Mazda MPV is the coolest van, but you know who is cool? The fucking Wu-Tang Clan. And you know what they used to drive? Mazda MPV. But it wasn't just Wu-Tang. A lot of other iconic rap cats were driving MPVs as well. DJ Premier's MPV, which he modified with big old aftermarket speakers, was rumored to be the legendary listening station for rappers to first test out their tracks. Later, the Wu-Tang Clan shouted out the MPV in their song Cream, with catching keys from across seas, rolling in MPVs. Every week, we made 40 G's. But Bismarck he claims to be the first to start the hype on the 2-door, 4-wheel drive minivan with his song, Bad By Myself. Check out the complete list of rap cars in this episode of Wheelhouse.
Roof Vanigan.
The Volkswagen bus is easily one of the most beloved vans of all time. It's the hippie mobile, the cultural touchstone. It looks like the Scooby-Doo van, although I do think that was a Ford. And if you ask me, yes, I think that Ryan Reynolds should have played either Shaggy or Fred in the live-action version of the film. 3rd-gen VW bus was called the T3. It was sturdier, boxier, and with its water-cooled engine, it was a huge improvement over the previous air-cooled generations. But Roof, yes, that Roof, decided to take it a step further and equip it with the same 3.4-liter twin-turbo flat 6 from the frickin' Yellowbird. What is this? The Disneyland monorail? Imagine how fast you could transport you, your bros, your surfboards down to the beach, catch some sick waves and stare at all the Bettys. Or how fast you, Scooby-Doo, and Ryan Reynolds could solve the curse of Viking Lane. I'm telling you, anybody that's working in Hollywood watching this, I'll be Shaggy. Ryan Reynolds is Fred, and the kid who plays Spider-Man can be Scooby-Doo.
Ford E350 Centurion.
This next one's kind of weird, but it's number one because it's the one that I want the most. Yeah, maybe I wanted a spot shape, but I can't freaking drive a car with an F1 engine. This is the one that I want in my driveway. And at the end of the day, I'm the one saying the stuff. So, also, this is just a list. It's not necessarily ranked, even though I just did say that this is the best one. Oh boy, this is probably the weirdest pickup truck on God's green earth, and I know what you're thinking. Pickup truck, James? What the frig is this doing on a list of the best video? What is this doing on a list of the best minivans of all time? Have you lost your marbles? Maybe. I don't know.
Yes, I think I'm going crazy.
But it's unrelated. The Ford E350 Centurion is actually a truck van, a van truck, a VUC, if you will. This VUC is all minivan business in the front and pickup truck party in the back. It's the van truck that Ford was too chicken to make. And just like my personal preference for mayonnaise on hot dogs, it's wrong in all the right kinds of ways. This Franken van was made when the conversion company Centurion Vehicles thought, hey, let's take an Econoline van, fuse it with an F-Series truck bed, and add a fifth wheel for towing. America! Being that these VUCs are not Ford manufactured and are essentially patchwork projects, every E350 Centurion is a unique and beautiful snowflake. But they all had a few things in common. A maximum of 10 miles to the gallon, an engine that sits in the center of the cab encased by a solid wood console, quaint little curtains for the windows, back seats that double as pull-out beds, turret lights for nighttime poetry reading, miles and miles upon miles and miles and miles of carpet. You might find a CB radio here, maybe a television, sometimes even a little refrigerator for your soda. Anything you want to keep cold, son. Probably suspicious stains and a troubling smell. But just like Van Wilder after his final exam with Professor McGonagall at the end of the first film, you just don't know what you're gonna get. Well, there you have it. We hit all the best minivans that ever existed. Proof that minivans aren't all diapers and handy snacks. They can be cool. Check out this episode of Wheelhouse on Cars in Rap, and check out this episode of The Bestest on Vans. Like, please, if subscribe or I'll bite Nolan. I love you.